Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Thanks for helping out today. We've scheduled this session to run for approximately 60 minutes. And before we start, I just want to check with you that you're okay for this video to be used. It'll only be used internally by our team. So I just want to check you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's good with me.
Great. And before we start, I'll explain our setup and how this session is going to work. So I'm responsible for conducting some customer research for an airline app, and we're trying to identify issues that could be fixed, make the app easier to use. And to do that, we're talking to people like yourself. And based on your feedback, we're hoping to pinpoint areas for improvement. So the setup is I'll be asking you questions and talking you through the tests. We have a camera and a microphone to record what you do, and we're also recording your phone screen to see how you interact. As I say, this won't be viewed by anyone outside of the team, so don't worry about that. And the session is divided into two parts. So first of all, we'll ask you some questions about your experience booking flights generally, and then we'll ask you to perform a few tasks on a couple of airline apps, and we'll ask you some questions as you go. There's a few things to keep in mind, and this is just to help the test run smoother. So first of all, this is a usability test, but it's important to know that we're not testing you, we're testing the app. There's no right or wrong answers, there's no trick questions, and we're not trying to catch you out in any way. If you do come across any problems, please understand it's not your fault and it's the software's fault. And in fact, the more sort of issues that you point out, the better it is for us. So please don't hold back in that sense. And second of all, please be as candid as possible. If you've got an opinion on something, you do like it or you don't like it, just say. Won't hurt my feelings, as I say, I haven't been involved in designing any of it. And third of all, as you navigate around the app, whatever's going through your head, please verbalize it. So, for example, if you're about to click on a button, then I'm going to click here because I think it will do X, Y, or Z. Or if you're looking around the screen for something, say, I'm looking around and I'm expecting to see this. So basically, we want you to think aloud, and it helps us take better notes. And if you could just approach things a little bit slower than you usually would, then that'd be really helpful for us too. Um, if you work around the site too fast, we might not be able to take notes quick enough, or we might miss some important things. If this does, if you do sort of speed up too much, I'll obviously remind you to slow down. But again, please don't take any of it personally. And finally, please feel free to ask me any questions. It's a great way for me to understand your thoughts. But please bear in mind that in order to keep the test as realistic as possible, I may not always be able to answer them. That all makes sense?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Great. And if you've got any questions before we start, please let me know now.
Um, nope. I'm just gonna,
Okay,
go with it, see how it goes.
super. So before we start interacting with the apps, I'd just like to ask you some simple background questions, if that's okay.
Yep.
Super. So could I just ask your occupation, please?
I'm a PA,
Lovely. And where you're based?
Brighton.
Lovely. And how do you usually access the internet? Do you usually access it at home or when you're at work? Combination of both? Do you usually use a phone or a laptop or a tablet or all of the above? And do you have broadband?
I'm not an iPad user. Don't have a tablet of any kind. Main ways of accessing it are through my mobile phone.
Mhm.
I've got a laptop. I also have a work laptop. At home, I have broadband. I access the internet through work and work computers for work, but also when I'm at home, um, less so using my laptop,
Mhm.
or so using my phone because I can do, yeah, yeah.
Super. And when you're using your phone, what sort of apps do you use? If you could just describe a little bit about the main ones, that'd be great.
Lots of like entertainment ones, so like TV shows
Yep.
and like streaming platforms, entertainment, social media,
Hmm.
Instagram, WhatsApp sort of vibes, and then there's a lot of like useful apps as well. So
Hmm.
um utility apps, health, clocks, the ones that sort of like help day to day with the useful
Hmm.
things, calendar and all those sorts of ones are very useful, bills
Yeah,
and stuff.
super. Now I'm just going to ask you some more sort of directed questions at travel apps. So I and sort of the sort of traveling that you do generally. So if I could just start by asking what your typical sort of traveling is it business or leisure?
If we're talking, are we talking flying or any other travel?
Yeah, flights, sorry.
Flying, definitely not for work, all leisure and
Hmm.
pleasure flying. Do you want
Okay.
me to say more about like
No,
how
it's okay. So how frequently do you fly?
maybe 1 or 2 times a year?
Great. And do you usually fly to the same location or is it sort of different every time?
It would be different. Very rarely
Great,
would go back to the same place, I think, yeah.
great. And how would you usually book the flights?
I think on a laptop,
Okay, great.
yeah.
And when you're booking the flights, would you usually find yourself using specific websites for specific airlines, or would you more commonly use like an aggregator, so like Expedia or Skyscanner?
Yeah, I don't normally go for the like Expedia versions. I don't know why I would think that would be more expensive. Skyscanner or like varying comparison websites to find the cheapest flights would be my go-to, and then use whatever they suggest, whatever flights come up through that, and then go through to their various websites from there.
Great. And then do you have a preference over sort of a Skyscanner or a airline specific site or app?
No, no, I think I'm led by cost, because even if like British Airways is like fancier or nicer or whatever, I just go for
You like to
that.
compare
Wouldn't
the prices
I
first?
like, and I just go for the ones that either like, yeah, I'd use
Great.
the whatever suggested on Skyscanner.
Okay. So if you could just describe to me the last time you booked a flight online, and if you could just begin with describing the scenario, please.
So needed to book flights to go to France,
Hmm.
to south of France. I actually thought I was going to go by train. Looked up train fare. In the end, flights were more economical. Um,
In terms of time or speed or cost or
uh,
availability.
yeah, cost led the decision
Okay.
making. Do you want me to talk about how I like how I picked which ones I was going to get?
If you could just answer where you were traveling to and when you made the decision to travel, that'd be great. We can get into some other
The
details
decision
after.
to travel was a few months ago, but I faffed around a bit too much with looking at cost and times
Hmm.
and not the amount of booking. We were flying to Montpellier in France, Montpellier in
Hmm.
France, and yes, ended up just going through Skyscanner,
Great,
and they suggested cheap flights, and that's how we booked.
great. So if you could just answer what the most important criteria was when booking that flight. Was it the right dates, the right times, or the right price, for example?
Times were flexible, I would say.
Hmm.
Days are important because obviously you've like booked accommodation for those days, you need to fly on
Yeah.
those days. So I think it would be dates,
Hmm.
price,
Hmm.
then times would be my order of like priority of
Okay.
order of how
Um,
I
Great.
rank it.
And then if you could just quickly describe how you came to choosing that destination and those dates.
The destination was picked first from having the accommodation booked.
Okay.
Friends booked accommodation,
Yeah.
and then after that, we then knew we had to book flights. So,
Right.
so it was, yeah, yeah. That answer.
Predetermined. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. And then could I just ask, did you compare prices? If not,
Yes.
why? Oh, you did? Okay. And
Yes,
how
because
was
we
that
use
comparison
Skyscanner.
done? Through Skyscanner. Great.
Yeah.
And that was the only app or website you used for that.
Yeah, I didn't actually go on any other comparisons. I just sort of
Yeah,
knew that
great.
Skyscanner checks a whole load,
Yeah.
so go with what it
Okay.
suggests.
And if I could just ask a few details about the booking. So how many people you were traveling with, and did you book for everybody or just yourself?
But booking was for two people.
Hmm.
I was booking for those two people.
Great.
Yes, that's that.
Super. So if I could ask what communications took place between you and the other person, what you
Um,
discussed, and how did you share the details? So, prices, dates, etc., before the booking was made.
we were in the same room together, so we were able to look at the screen together to check them. Though we weren't, I was booking for two people, but there was a friend who was flying on those flights as well. So we
Okay,
did actually get them to send through what their flights were, and they
yeah,
took a screenshot of their confirmation and sent it to us so we could,
great.
I wasn't necessarily going to definitely go on those flights 'cause
No.
price would be the factor, but in the end,
Mhm.
it worked out that that was suitable for us. So we saw from the screenshot of their confirmed flights. Um,
Perfect.
yeah,
Great. So that covers that part of the test. Now we're going to move on to interactions with the actual apps themselves. So this will be our first task. So if you could just um, get up the first app, which I believe would be Ryanair,
EasyJet.
EasyJet, sorry.
Oh, I like that little fly thing they do at the start. A little always helps, doesn't it? Makes it feel a bit like it's all got its stuff together. Little animation.
So for the purpose of this test, we want you to book a flight from um, Manchester to Barrow,
Mm-hmm.
and we want it to depart on a Saturday toward the end of October,
Mm-hmm.
returning 3 days later. So that's 3 nights, and it'll be for two people. Um, and if you could show me how you would do that.
Yeah.
And we'll start with, see, this is the homepage. So if you could just describe a little bit about what you see, what you're looking for, and what you're looking to do next, that'd be great.
Oh, I think I'm just critical. There's a lot of this business going on. There's a lot of this going on. That's a lot to like look at and digest. I mean, like in these like squares with the pictures, the
Yeah.
like bar at the bottom, fine. That seems like simple enough. Corporate partnerships with Cadbury's, that makes me, I don't know, maybe that just seems a bit like I don't really need that at the time. I'm like not really looking at that. Okay. So I need to just go about booking a flight, right? So,
Yes.
oh, there's a button at the bottom that says book, which is a little airplane. Also, at one point, I feel like I was sort of drawn to the three dots at the top. I don't know why. That's okay. That's far too much. That's not what I want. Okay, I'm going to get back. This looks like a search bar. Do I want flights? Oh, I just tried to click on the orange flight thing, but that's not actually a button. That's just like a tab. Okay, so I could click on the little thing that looks like a search bar in the center. It says book
Hmm.
flights. Or I could click on the like banner at the bottom that says book.
Hmm.
I don't know which one I should pick on. I should
Cool.
click on.
Well, you
Should
can
I?
click on whatever you want. Yeah.
Is the top one even a button? It's a search bar. Oh, okay, that pulls up that. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna go back and see if I would have clicked on the book at the bottom. It takes me to the same
Okay.
thing anyway.
Great.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Super.
So shall
So
I carry on?
yes. So yeah. So now we're looking at the main book a trip page. So if you could talk me through some of the sort of menus you're seeing there, and what you're looking for. So what you see, what you're looking for, and then we can get into discussing what those options mean and then what you expect to see.
I'm just gonna touch some of the buttons in the top right hand side because I don't know really know what they mean. microphone. That normally means like what's the word when you like dictate? Is that what that is? Oh yeah, would you like to use my microphone? I don't need that. I'm guessing that's just like an accessibility thing.
Yeah.
So I don't need that. Oh, speech recognition, go away, don't allow. Okay, I don't want that. Okay, now I'm gonna click on the camera with the airplane in. What's that? Access to my photos? No, why would it need that? No, okay, don't allow. That's gonna go away. Click on the three lines. Again, it's that same menu thing.
Yeah.
That's too much information for me. I don't want anything to do with that. Okay. So this, the sort of main square I'm looking at, that sort of seems fine to me. Not anything that I wouldn't expect. I like they've got the little toggle at the top that's the return and then the
Hmm.
one way
Hmm.
return. And it makes sense that it's sort of already on the return because
Hmm.
I think I would, most probably you're booking a return flight.
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't look like buttons, but I feel like I can just click on the field that
Hmm.
I need and I can put in my information.
Hmm.
Um, so should I just go for it?
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Access to my location. Okay. Allow while using app. Okay. Oh, I don't know if
Ooh.
you can see some screen. It's doing the
No, that's
little.
interesting. I can't see that. I guess that's because that's from your iOS rather than the app itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Like, yeah.
Um. Okay. So I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. Allow my location whilst using the app. Can you hear me? Okay. My laptop's making a lot of noise.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay.
I can hear
So
you
this
great.
is
I can't hear. Yeah, I can't hear the laptop.
okay. So I am going to search for my airport.
Okay. And you would use the search bar for that? Is that when you say
Yeah.
search? Okay.
Yeah.
Rather
Just
than
because
scrolling.
already the A's, Aberdeen, Agadir. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh God, how long is it going to take me to get to my airport?
Hmm.
I'm just going to search. Okay, London. Oh no, Manchester. We're going from Manchester. There it is, matching airports. I'm going to click on that.
Great.
Flying to. I'm going to click on fly to, and I'm going to search Faro again because
Hmm.
again, too long to search through all of those.
Great.
Okay. Departure date. Let's click on that. Prices shown per person based on two people flying. That sort of it will show me my price for one person, but based on two people flying. But the cost of you flying doesn't change because you're in a pair or like in a group
Hmm.
of six normally. So why would it anyway? I
Yeah.
think that's a bit confusing.
Yeah. So now we're looking at the date selection.
Yeah.
So if you could just talk me through how you would expect to interact with this, and then give me a little
I
summary
went
of
to scroll and that's
how it feels summer to have
yeah.
interacted with this.
The scrolling of the calendar feels good because that's how my
Hmm.
Apple iPhone calendar, that's how I navigate through that. So that
Hmm.
feels instinctive. Um, okay, let's scroll October and a Saturday. So I sort of don't understand why some are green and some are grey. Is that because those flights aren't available? Well, they must be available because they've got a price on them. But it's not like a red, green, amber. Like, is it like green, like cheapest? I don't understand that, but I'm just gonna carry on and just
Hmm.
go for Saturday, the 14th of October. I'm gonna click on that. If I was booking this, that is cheapest.
Hmm.
Well, on the Saturdays in October, and I can see that right here. So essentially, that's why I would pick that. So I'm gonna click on 14th of October. Ooh, okay. And okay, I think it's told me it's like now I just pick my return date because the little
Hmm.
orange thing
Yeah,
airplane
it's
moved
been
across.
selected.
Yeah. So 3 nights. So coming back 14th, 15th, 16th, so coming back on the 17th. Okay. Sort of like the little orange
Yeah.
buffer bits are quite nice to look at. 3 night trip total from
Yeah.
176 at the bottom. That's nice and clear.
Hmm.
I could clear it if I needed to clear it. I didn't know if I wanted to pick those. Okay, so I'm gonna click done.
Hmm. Great. So that's the dates picked. Um, and if you could then just change the number of passengers for me to two.
2 people.
Yeah.
That feels easy. I'm just gonna press the plus button.
Great.
Plus 2 people. Do I need to select 0
Great.
infants? No, it's already told me that there's
Great.
just no infants. So I'm just gonna put done.
Hmm.
Okay. So show package holidays? No. Just gonna click on show flights.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This was quite bunched up.
Yep.
It's all like top heavy.
Yep. So this will be
Uh,
your flight selection page, or your
mhm.
results page. So if you could just, yeah, talk me through what you're looking at and talk me through what you're expecting to see. And then once you've interacted with it, just talk me through how you found that.
What I'm expecting to see is like a list of options of flights that I
Hmm.
could get on. Um, Maybe that's all of the information I would need out. I
Hmm.
felt like I was about to say something else, but I don't know
Oh,
what other
that's,
information I would want to be seeing here. You've got price, you've got times.
hmm.
I'm just going to see what these buttons at the top are. So it's quite good. I've got like it gives me like summary of my dates and the number of people at the top. That's
Hmm.
like a nice little reminder. Just going to click on the little pen, see what that does. Oh, that's just so you can edit your
Hmm.
thing. Though I think if I were to want to change on my details, I might click the back button. I think I'd be more
Right.
likely to go, like if I knew I had to make a change,
Yeah.
like, oh, actually that's the wrong date, I'd be like, oh, go back and
You would,
then
yeah.
yeah. And I'm just gonna click on the little Euro button. So it's just like different
Different
currencies you
currencies.
can buy it in. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just gonna get off that.
Great.
Yeah, I'm sort of wanting to pull down the screen,
Right.
like is it all just too much? And like I'm sort of annoying that there's not
Mm.
more. And like
Well, I
I
guess,
can,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess
there's
it's
only
just
one.
showing one flight a day.
Yeah. Um, I suppose it's pretty good that I can see like it would be cheaper if I flew on Sunday. Like I can clearly see
Mm.
that from here.
Hmm.
And I'm guessing now if that's the only flight I can get, that's the only flight I am getting. So I just
Hmm.
click on the big orange button that says standard
Hmm.
67.99. So should I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
What? Oh, you can see that, can't you?
Yep, so that's come up with an error message. So if you could just hit OK for me, and then we'll see what that. Okay, so
Wow,
that just takes you back to the main.
that's
So
annoying.
if
I don't
you,
know why I would
yes,
do it.
so if you wouldn't mind just hitting show flights again,
Should lights.
and then
And
we'll
then
see
I'm
if we get
guessing,
the same, yeah, see if we get the same message again, or it will let you progress.
oh, okay, that's fine. I
Okay,
probably was just
so
too slow on the last
yeah,
one. So this is again the
so
same thing, looks exactly
yeah,
the same. Um, and makes sense because I just sort of understood what the last page was like, and it clearly says coming back at the top.
mm,
Okay, so now I'm guessing I just click it's only one flight, so I just click the big
yeah,
orange button. So,
great. So now it's showing you the fare options page. So if you again could just talk me through what you're looking at here, the information it's showing you, whether or not that's what you expected to see. Um, and if you've got any other comments, obviously, please let me know.
Um, you've chosen our standard fare, but you can upgrade to one of our other fares to receive additional benefits. I don't think I only because I'm doing this sort of like test. I think I'm the sort of person that wouldn't necessarily read that little brief at the top. I'd sort of just go to where the colors are. But that makes
Okay.
sense in terms of like you pick
Hmm.
what type of
Hmm.
flight, like what type of like package thing you want.
Yeah.
Um, the little like drawings are nice. I like the little like
Icons.
icons.
Like, and
Uh,
what do they help you do?
just because I think at a glance I can easily see they're giving me information about like baggage, seating type, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Like that feels like I obviously then my eye goes to I read the little line next to it and can see that, but it's sort of at a glance it's sort of gives me an idea of what this page is about. Like I'm sorting these sections out. I'm sorting out what my preferences for these
Yeah.
things. I sort of with airlines, you sort of are not trusting as like, well, I'm not that
Okay.
trusting. So, and it looks nice and simple and like sort of clean, and the little like drawing icons are nice.
Okay.
Um, but like with the asterisks and which I know they explain them down the bottom, but like there's always like this looks simple, but I'm sort of like, where's the rest of the
Yeah.
information? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if there was a lot of information, I think I get well, I don't read it and I get
Yeah.
flustered. So maybe that's fine. The little icons are helpful enough.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
if you could just go through what you would do next with this page.
I'm not paying any extra for all of this. Well, yeah, I'm on my imaginary flight to Faro. I don't really know what I'll actually, if it was actually, do you want me to do this? Like, if I was actually flying, like, if I'm going for 3 nights, am I only taking a rucksack, or like me as a person? Do you want me to? If I would take a bigger bag, shall I pick the option that was like gives me a bigger
Well, yeah,
bag?
if you're tempted by it, then yeah, go for it.
In an imaginary world, yeah, I would probably want more than just a little rucksack. So I'm going
Okay.
to click on standard plus. Okay, passenger details. Well, okay. What do you want me to
Cool.
do with this page?
So that would be where we sort of call it for this task. Because any further you would obviously be picking out. So if we could just do a little conclusion here. So if you could just break down overall how you found that experience, whether there's anything you particularly liked or disliked about the process. Um, yeah.
Um, I know it's sort they're like background color. They do this like depth of field photo thing sometimes. I don't know why. That's just my preference. I just don't like the design of that, but that's
Okay.
just my preference. Let's go back and see. So back. Whoa, going back will result in your selected pairs being downgraded to standard. Yeah, okay, let's go back. Um, yeah, this is quite simple and clean. Like I liked that the fare options page.
Hmm.
Little bit distrusting, but I think that's more about opinions of the airline rather than the
Hmm.
page itself. This the picking the flights was annoying. I feel like this page could be designed better. Um,
How would you rather
yeah,
see it displayed?
I don't know. It just feels really cramped up the top.
Okay.
It's like not very good use of space. But I mean, like there would be obviously I had more flights. You like I would think you would scroll through it, but if there's only one flight, I would like yeah, the top feels very bunched up.
Okay.
Um, the booking the trip fields. That's actually fine. That's very simple.
Hmm.
Um, that sort of standard, that sort of like putting your fields of information, that feels expected, simple, easy to manage.
Yep,
Yeah.
great. So was there anything you expected to see but didn't, or was there anything that you were surprised to see that you weren't expecting to see?
I was expecting to see more than one flight a day, but that's just probably my problem. I wasn't expecting to see the data error when I took a while to click on the
Yep,
flight. That was very annoying
yep.
because in my head I'm like, people take this is like flying isn't like a buying something for £1 in a shop. It's not throwaway. It's like it takes time and consideration. And
And how would that, if that was just you interacting outside of this test, how would that affect your experience?
I would be really annoyed at EasyJet because I would,
So you,
if the
yeah,
app was hard to use, it makes me less likely to want to use it.
yep,
And it feels like a standard and expected thing that
yep,
you're
yep.
not going to click through really, really quickly. Like, I don't know why it's timed
Hmm.
out. Annoying. Yeah.
Okay. Um, great. So that brings us to the end of task one.
Yeah.
We have got a few minutes left. We've got 6.5 minutes left. So we'll begin task two, and then when it gets to sort of 1 minute, I'll give you a warning, and then we'll start again on a different video.
Cool.
So if you could just close this app for me, and open up our other app, so British Airways.
British Airways. Do you want me to talk about like what the app icons look like? Not appropriate. You don't need that.
Sorry.
Do you want me to say anything about the app icons like on your phone, or that's not appropriate? We don't need that.
I mean, if you have an opinion on them, then yeah, yeah, of course, let me know.
I think British Airways is a lot nicer, cleaner, simpler,
Okay. What, as in just the
easier.
homepage?
Just the, like the icons. Like if I'm looking at the icons now, but maybe
Oh,
that's
on the homepage. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
anyway.
Um,
Okay, homepage. Sorry, I'm back in the zone.
okay. So for our second task, we're still this time we're going to be booking a flight from London, still going to Barrow, still for 3 nights with two people, so returning 3 days later. Um, and we're still going to be traveling toward the end of October. So if you could talk me through what you're looking at on this homepage, what you're looking out for, and what you're hoping to do next.
Okay, I like the calm colors. It feels a lot calmer. It feels a lot more sophisticated than the EasyJet app. Um, oh wow, yeah, there's way less going on down the bottom.
Hmm.
So yeah, it feels very sophisticated. None of this like other corporate stuff or busyness or deals or
Hmm.
whatever. Um, uh, clear indicators to like sign in or find a booking. So like if I was
Hmm.
using this app and like, I had to like already had a flight that I was like checking in with or like doing something else, like that feels clear.
Hmm.
Big blue button for book a flight here,
Yeah,
which is clearer than the last app. Book a flight,
great.
boom, that's where I'm clicking. I'm just gonna click on the menu little three lines
Yeah.
just to see what that looks so much nicer than the three lines on the EasyJet app.
Okay.
I think the other one had like loads more information about like, well, but it was like, yeah, I like the cleanness of this. I like
Hmm.
how it's spaced.
Yeah.
FAQs, contact us, boom, easy. And right here on this page, simple, calming. I just want to
Hmm.
click book a flight, and that's what I
Great.
want to do.
Okay, so let's go for that.
Okay, book a flight. Whoa, okay, here we go.
Great.
Um,
So now we're looking at this page again. If you could just quickly talk me through what you're looking for, what you're actually looking at, and then a little bit of a breakdown of what the options mean to you.
okay. Again, like fields of information, very clear. This sort of like standard putting in fields of information is
Hmm.
clear. I can sort of see where I need to put in that information. I'm just going to look at what the cheapest fare like toggle bit is because I don't know what that means. So I'm just going to see what
Okay.
that does. Oh, okay.
That's
I mean,
like,
not useful for me right now, but
no.
that's quite one nicely presented and two. Okay, I
Yeah.
don't need it. That's I'm just going to go back. So again, I'll click on plan a trip because that's what I'm trying to do.
Hmm.
Okay, from and click on the from bit.
Great.
Oh, there's little toggle things here. Nearby. Let's click on nearby. Oh, that's asking you can't see it. It's asking me to use my location.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you couldn't determine your location. But I just thought it could tell me where I am, like use my GPS. Anyway, never mind. Okay, that's a bit weird. I'm just going to toggle to the favorites. Oh, I wonder where. Maybe that knows it from like my previous flights. That's pretty
Mm.
useful because you'd expect to be flying. Like if you live in one place, you'd probably be expecting to fly from those places regularly.
Hmm.
And now that I've done that, I don't know whether I would go to favorite straight away. I think I would just search. Like
Hmm.
the first one that it lands on,
Yeah.
I would use that. Um,
Great.
like this page.
Yeah.
Um, so if I were to do that, like I would do if I was just doing it, I would again like the other app. I think I would not scroll because like oh my god, like so many
Hmm. So you
airports.
would, same as before, use the search bar.
Yes, that's well. So I'm just going to
Great.
search London. Oh, it highlights my favorites. That's nice to see. That helps. Okay, but I'm going to click on London All airports because for the test we
Hmm.
don't have to work. We don't have to go from a certain airport. So I'm going to do London
Yeah.
All, which was very useful. Okay. Um, then I'm going to click to destination two, and again I would search
Hmm.
like that. Borrow. There we
Hmm.
go.
Great.
Do you want me to carry on, or do you want to do a new call?
Yes. So we've got less than a minute left. So we will end this and we will resume it in a minute.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Hello.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Hi. No, no worries. Welcome back. So again, so we've just gone through our flight details in terms of airports. So now we will go on to the rest of the page. So if you could just talk me through what comes next, what you're expecting to see. Great.
I'm going to go down it. Yeah, as a list. I'm going on to dates next. It's got a little calendar icon next to it. That makes sense. I'm just going to click on my first date.
Hmm.
Again, this doesn't like it makes like it's clean, but it's not necessarily like aesthetically nice to look at.
Okay.
Again, it's as just said just before, I want to instinctively want to scroll through the calendar, but it's so to toggle left and right.
Hmm.
Um, that's fine. Unlike the EasyJet app, it doesn't have the prices like on the actual dates, which was quite useful with the other one.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't like with the other one, I picked the 14th of October because it was the cheapest one. So I'm just going to pick a different date and see. So I'm going to go 21st of October.
Hmm.
Oh, and it makes it disappear when I click on a date, which says it's good, not a couple of clicks to like get off the page, get off the thing.
Okay.
Once I've seen. So I'm now going to click on to the second date because so I can pick when I'm coming back. That makes sense. It's like grayed out the areas before I fly. That makes
Hmm.
sense. So on the I fly on the also I could come back on the 21st if I wanted. So that one isn't grayed out. Um, so 1 night, 2 nights. So yes, come back on the 24th. So I click on the 24th of October.
Hmm.
Great. Okay, now I'm going on to the adults. Same thing, just go
Hmm.
down a field. Click on it. Two adults. Yeah. That also, this comes up and it looks different. Like this fills the whole page and there isn't a bit from the bottom, whereas the calendar was a bit from the bottom. So that's
Mm.
slightly different. Like I don't, yeah, just
Okay.
acknowledging that.
Could you just
Um,
talk me through the single and the return bit quickly? Well, the
yes.
return.
So the button, it's just a one click,
Okay. But then as
and
you
it's
change it, it remembers the return that you did have.
oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, that's quite good. And the obviously it doesn't pop up anything because it's just a one click. It would change
Great.
like single or
Yeah.
return. That's all your options.
Hmm.
So no list could pop up there. Okay, an adult. I've done my dates and I've done my passengers. Okay, so the next one is like the money sign, the economy. I'm guessing that's like that makes sense. Like first class, economy, business,
Hmm.
whatever. So I'm just gonna click on that. Yeah, so this is a different like pop up to the way the adults was. Okay, so I've got economy or business. It's not telling me like the prices of these yet though, which
Right.
is fine, but like maybe you would.
Yeah.
And this also the way this toggles through these things, it like does the you know the vibrate on your phone, like
Hmm.
the buzz. Um which is like fine, but this sort of doesn't feel very aesthetically like good. Oh, you can
Okay.
also see on here, you see the done button is like right near the edge. It feels like it's like
Mm.
cut off the edge of that. I mean, it's clean, but it's not amazing, and it looks different to the way
Yes.
the big um number of adults came
Yeah.
up on the screen. So I'm just going to click economy because I'm going to go for a cheaper flight. So economy. I don't click that. I just click on done. Yeah, okay, that's close to the edge. That feels like it's off alignment. Oh, price lowest. Economy, I would have thought would have been the lowest anyway. So I'm just going to click on what the lowest price thing is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like lowest. Actually, that's a bit confusing. Like, what does it mean, lowest price for
Mm.
flexible ticket? Like, I would thought, okay, I'm just gonna go for lowest price because that what I would want, but that's slightly leaves me with some questions about like what's going on. What does that mean?
Okay.
What? Like,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm gonna click find flights. That's the
Great.
I've gone to my list. Big blue button. Find flights. Finding flights Faro. Okay, options, flights. Great, great, great.
Great. So this is
Um,
our results page that brings up our options. Again, if
mhm.
you could just talk me through what you're looking at, um, what it all means to you, um, and how you feel about all of that. Great.
Outbound flight. Tell me all my information at the top. Outbound flight, London to Faro. Price per adult includes all taxes and fees. That's great. I'm just going to scroll, see what's going on. Oh, yeah. And it's split into flights from Gatwick and flights from Heathrow. So that lets me know
Hmm.
which airports I can fly from.
Hmm.
Um, oh, I click the little arrow. I just click the little arrow up and
Hmm.
down. That shows me like the times and stuff of it. Oh, and
Hmm.
if I click anywhere on the body of it, that also does the drop down.
Hmm.
Though I instinctively might think to click on the whole body of that like white bit to click yes.
Hmm.
Um, but clicking on the main body of it just does the drop down to show me the info about the flights. So
Yeah.
because there's just like a I mean it obviously like now I've done that I can see that the white bar at the bottom with from £347 or whatever um that means like that's the button, but that wasn't necessarily 100% clear straight
Okay.
away. Um, if I was doing this for me, I'd click on the cheapest one. So I'm going on this £239 one. Obviously, I can see
Hmm.
at the top there's this scrolly bit
Hmm.
for dates if I wanted cheaper
Hmm.
days to fly on.
Right.
Oh, yep. And okay, so I'm just going to click on the cheapest cost price button.
Yeah.
Okay, pop up.
Great. So if you could just
Economy.
talk me through the different fares that you're seeing here.
It's like this makes sense. It's something this is what I would sort of expect to see,
Hmm.
like breakdown of first class, business. Um, I like the little icons on the EasyJet app, and this doesn't have it. This is just all like text,
Hmm.
but it does look quite clean and nice and like
Hmm.
sophisticated. And the big blue buttons are back. I like those.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, great. I'm just gonna click on the cheapest one, and the button's there. I'm
Yeah.
gonna just click on it. Okay, return flight. We're on to return flight page. Great. Um, Again, I've got the toggle of dates if I want to
Hmm.
change what day I'm flying on.
Hmm.
That I as I move around on the dates, even if I
Hmm.
haven't like clicked on a different date, it then like waits and reloads that. That's
Hmm.
fine. I'm just like noting it. Obviously, there's no options for a different airline, the airport to come back to because I think it thinks I'll just go back to the same airport, which
Hmm.
is makes sense to me. Um, oh, and it gives me information about my outbound flight. So yeah, London Heathrow to Barrow at the bottom. That's great. Um, um, Maybe the time would be useful down there. So if I was thinking, when you want to make more of your time on holiday, you're
Yes.
like you want to get an earlier flight out and a later flight back.
Hmm.
Maybe you want to see that there. I've learned from the previous page that clicking on the body of the white thing does the drop down. So I need to click on the from
Yep.
barrier bar, even though it's not like a big button that might be helpful.
Hmm.
So I'm going to click on the cheapest one from £181. Good that there was on that last page, there was just a little like terms button.
Hmm.
Well, not button. Actually, I'm gonna go back to that. Yeah, this is like it's not. Yeah, I see why they haven't done it like big and fancy, like taxes and fees and stuff. But you can click on it if you want. But I
Hmm.
don't want to. So I'm clicking on from £181.
Great.
Again, same system with the
Hmm.
economy, business class, details what's it means for the extended prices. Looks very smart. I'm going to click on the Euro Traveller Economy Basic.
Hmm.
And my flight summary, great.
Super. So that's as far as we'll go for the purpose of this test. So if you could just give me a little conclusion again, same as before. So if you could just overall let me know what you thought of that experience. Was there anything you particularly liked or disliked about the process?
It felt very sophisticated, like the whole way through. I think like their colors and stuff are very, like BA have that air of like sophistication. But there were some things that I was like, the way the different pop-ups popped up in
Mm.
different ways.
Hmm.
Like one was like a look like on like iOS, if you like go to like I don't know, they're like inbuilt iOS like toggle
Mm.
options. Some of them look like that, and some of them pulled up and they were like a whole page
Mm.
where it covered the whole screen rather than just like a pop up at the bottom.
Hmm.
Some of the like where I got to pick the flight and it was like clicking on what there was a drop down for the details of the flight and what was a button to select the flight. That was a bit unclear.
Hmm.
But they're putting fields of information in there. That was very clear
Hmm.
and very simple.
Great.
Yeah.
Super. So was there anything you were expecting to see but didn't? And was there anything that you were surprised to see and you weren't expecting?
Maybe I was expecting to be able to have when you pick the dates be more like be able to see the price.
Yeah.
But maybe like BA, they think that like people are fancy and have more money or something, and like they know they just need to fly on a certain date, so they just pick the date and then see the price afterwards.
Okay.
But I suppose you then get when you get to the dates actual section and picking your flights, you've got the toggle thing where you can swipe through
Yes.
and you could change you can look at the day before was cheaper in general, so you see it there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Great. Super. Okay. Well, that concludes our test. So thank you very much for your time. And have a nice evening.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you.